yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki yatachittatma nirashihi aparigraha. So Krishna is starting to give the prerequisites for how an Ashtanga Yogi conducts himself in life. Unlike Bhakti Yoga, there are prerequisites for Ashtanga Yoga. Of course, Bhakti Yoga also has prerequisites in terms of attitude, but Ashtanga Yoga's prerequisites are more so within the domain of discipline. So without that discipline, the ability to be disciplined in a certain way, it's not possible to actually begin Ashtanga Yoga. So it's not like I just feel like practicing Ashtanga Yoga, so let me do this. No, it's not like that. So the next 23 verses actually, Krishna talks about Ashtanga Yoga. So these next 23 verses basically are meant for the Nishkama Karma Yogi, so that he may engage his mind in a certain way. So how he should sit down, how he should walk, how he should keep his body, how he should sleep, what he should not eat, how he should be regulated. All of this will be explained in the next shlokas. As I said, 23 shlokas. So, and the series of those shlokas starts here, the 10.6.10. So how should he be? So Krishna says, Atmanam rahasi sthitaha yogi yunjita satatam. Yunjita, he must be constantly connected. And he should engage his mind within me, which is basically yunjita. And how does he do so? Can he engage his mind wherever he sits? No, he should not do that. He should sit in a place without any disturbing sounds, without any people. Rahasi sthitaha. So when one has love for Krishna, then one can be in any situation and then think of Krishna. But until one has love, one has to choose an environment that is favorable for what he is trying to cultivate. Ashtanga Yogi is trying to cultivate cessation of the agitations of mind. Now, if he is already sitting in a place which is agitated, where people are talking, there is a movie song going on, there is some conversations going on, then it becomes very difficult. So, a jnani, an Ashtanga Yogi, both of their nishthas are that they want to detract the mind from the sense objects or ignorance or whatsoever. So, and the most important situation for both of these types of transcendentalists is rahasi sthitaha. He should not be in a public spot. When I was small, I used to come to the main room and then study, because I feel very bored sitting alone. So I'll come to the main room and tell my parents, please switch off the TV. I'm going to read. And parents will say, go to the bedroom and read, study. I said, no, I want to study here. Similarly, many people want to follow group Ashtanga Yoga. But there is in Shastra, there is nothing called group Ashtanga Yoga. Only thing that is actually mentioned in Shastra is group Kirtanam is there. Bahubir Militva. Many people come together and they perform kirtanam, that is present in Shastra. But there is nothing called group yoga, where everyone comes together and performs asanas or pranayama. This is not there. Krishna is very clearly saying, Atmanam rahasi sthitaha. So he must be in a place where there are no people. Ekaki. Ekaki yatachittatma. He must be only present without people. So ekaki yatachittatma. He alone must be there. Ekaki. Only then he can control his mind. Yatachittatma. Why? If there are two people, then we will start gossiping. Then in the name even of talk about what did you realize, what did you realize, then they will say, this is how I left, this is how I left. In this way, people will start gossiping. So whenever one wants to go to study, it is said, you have to go with two people to study. So each one can complement the other. So when you go for travel, you have to go with many people. In the olden days at least, there used to be robbers. Shastra says whenever you are going for yatra means travel, then you go with many people. But if you want to go for tapas, then go alone. So many people used to go alone in the olden days, up north to Himalayas, to Vrindavan, to Mathura, to Rishikesh, to Kashi. So they used to go alone. Why? Rahasi sthitaha, or some mountains. Why? Because the body and mind has to be divested from all those activities. Now, for our own situation, it is both impractical, that's one thing, and also Shastra also doesn't say that for bhakti you have to actually go alone. For bhakti we have to do alongside with devotees, satam prasanga. Now, one might again ask, okay, for devotees they come together, for jnanis, yogis they are alone. At least when I thought of these things, I thought, I'm neither an Ashtanga Yogi, nor am I a jnani, nor do I want to be a karmi, nor am I even a devotee. Now, who am I? I don't possess the qualities of any of those. I don't possess humility or love for the Lord to be a devotee. I don't possess the desire to go alone and be so detached and possess so much discrimination to be a jnani. Nor do I possess strength to control the mind like an Ashtanga Yogi. Now, what do I possess? At least can I be like the materialists? Can I imitate the materialist and be with them? That also I cannot. I feel too bored. I feel that's too artificial. We can't eat after enjoying Krishna consciousness. We can't go back to our material association and say, let's go to the restaurant, let's eat chicken, but this, that. No, it's not possible. So who are we? So I was asking myself that question. So this is basically the position of a person who is actually a fit adhikari to surrender to the Lord. Adhikari means when we are actually realizing that I don't belong anywhere, but I can't leave you also, Krishna. Now where do I go? So with that sense of dependence on Krishna, then whatever Krishna talks about here, which is that we can live in a solitary place, which means the mind will become detached from outside world, from outside accomplishments. The mind will think, Krishna, I don't have any of these qualifications, so I'm depending on you. So in this way, we can also practice to whatever we want, to whatever extent we can. Like for instance, in the morning, we can try to be a little more in the mode of discipline, where we try to situate ourselves in a place where there is not much sound, where there is not much agitation, we can sit in a solitary place, sit erect. We can try to do that during the morning. And then as we fix our consciousness towards Krishna more and more intimately in love, then naturally during the day we can depend on Krishna more easily. Because dependence on Krishna is the most easiest way to remember him in a household life. In household life, there are so many struggles we undergo. And while we go through these struggles, we can depend on Krishna. Krishna, please, I depend on you. And it might be a material problem. That's fine. It's okay. We don't have to think that I only have to depend on Krishna for a spiritual problem I have. It is better to depend on Krishna for a material problem than to forget Krishna for a material problem. Sometimes devotees go overboard. Prabhu, I'm very serious devotee. I only depend on Krishna for going back to Godhead. But then sometimes we end up, not sometimes, at least myself, most of the time I end up forgetting Krishna, solving my material problems with my own material intelligence, looking at Instagram, looking at here, looking at Google and ChatGPT. You see? So we can depend on Krishna. Krishna, without you, what will I do? You are the, like for instance, say, we are having some problem with our intelligence. Say we are not able to understand some subject matter. I'm studying for an exam. Say if you are known as a student here, okay. But say if you are studying for an exam, right? I say I have to prepare that exam. So Krishna, I'm not able to understand anything of this. You are buddhir buddhimatam asmi. You are the intelligence of the intelligent. You are saying, Paurusham Drishu, you are the ability in man. If you so desire, if you think I need to understand this, please, let me understand this. Without, if you desire, what cannot happen, Krishna? You are only sitting within my intelligence. You only are sitting within the intelligence of the person who wrote this book. So why can't I understand this? So in this way, we can depend on Krishna for studying for an exam, right? Or anything. So we should firmly believe that Krishna is the supreme cause of all causes. Jagat Sarva Karana Karanam. So like that during the day, we can depend on Krishna. During the morning, we can have a little more sadhana focused on discipline. So in this way, we might not be able to, especially in the initial stages, might not be a perfect Ashtanga Yogi or a perfect devotee. We might not be able to be. That's okay. But as much as possible, we can take elements of it that are favorable for our own Krishna consciousness. And in this way, make it applicable. You see, Dhruva Maharaja, he was performing Ashtanga Yoga, more or less. But his goal was actually Sakamya Karma Bhakti. Sakama Bhakti, yeah. So, and gradually he realized Vishnu and the rest is history. So like that. So I'll stop here. Any questions or comments are welcome. Okay, thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.